This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Thank you, David. Welcome to DBL. It is a Wednesday, September 8th. We've made it to the middle of the week. I'm Tori here with my good friends Al and Erica.
And friends we are.
Friends, we are. Let's get started. A lot of you are talking about this. Workers removed one of the country's largest Confederate statues today. This 21-foot statue of Robert E. Lee towered over the main boulevard in Richmond, Virginia since 1890. The debate over removing Confederate monuments really heated up following the death of George Floyd last year. And DBL Nation, we want your input on this. We want to know what you think. Should the statue have been removed? Simple question, lots of complicated answers, yes or no. Go to dblvote.com to weigh in. Love to hear your opinions. Miss Cobb.
Well, I mean, we've had this conversation for years at this point, and I always think when we have statues, they're a symbol of celebration and someone who we should be actually thinking very highly of. And this is a person who defended slavery. That was the entire thing for the Confederacy. So pro-slavery legislation, ideology, and the idea that the statue would be looming over everyone just has never sat right with me. And I think it's beyond time that it's removed. And I also want to give a shout out to a young woman, Ziona Bryant, who doesn't get recognition very often, but she has been at the forefront of having these statues removed, as well as other activists and civil rights campaigns. Wow. And her name has been completely erased from the conversation. So these young activists who have taken to their social media, who's really corralled people and made them understand why these things were so important, I just want to give a little bit of praise to her as well.
I like that shout out. Al, I got some comments for you that are on either side. The Mike variant says Richmond still has 1 in 4 living in poverty. Glad they're woke, virtual signaling politicians have their priorities straight. Someone says, Fuzilla, erasing history makes you doomed to repeat it. But Oxford's Not Brogue says no one is erasing history. Robert E. Lee will be long remembered without a statue. What do you feel about those people that say you're going to erase history? And I remind you, in Germany, in Nazi Germany, there are no Nazi statues of Hitler or anything. And I promise you, Germans know what happened in the Holocaust. They're very well aware of their history. They just have made it a rule to not prioritize someone that terrorized their country. Good.
I just wonder, in any nation's history where they have statues of like people that have committed an insurrection against that country and then had hundreds of statues put up, in their honor. Very proud statues, Erica, with people on horses looking forward, pointing down, some with slaves around the statues, actually. So when we start talking about, should these be taken down, I think the bigger question is, when were they put up? And they weren't put up directly after the Civil War. They were put up around the, in like the late 50s, Civil Rights era, as a way to intimidate black voters and to kind of rally the South. So when we start talking about like when we take them down, we should start asking why they were put up and when. And I think that'll answer a lot of our questions. And for people that are worried about erasing history, we don't hear that argument when we start talking about critical race theory, which it's so interesting how that argument kind of
Erica's
weaves
turned
in and out.
all the way around in her chair.
It's really interesting.
Very fascinating discussion.
Life is interesting.
Isn't it, though? Let's go to our DBL Nation poll. All right, 35% of you say yes, should they be taken down? 65% of you say no. Interesting. Write us in on YouTube or Twitter and let us know why not. We'd love to get your comments in there. Well, we got some good news when it comes to Americans getting vaccinated. The CDC is saying that 75% of adults in the U.S. have received at least 1 dose of the COVID vaccine. But we're not so sure this next woman is among them. Check out what she did after running into a masked woman at a grocery store. Take a look.
Excuse me. I'm coming through.
Why don't you have a mask on?
Because I don't need to have one on. I'm not sick, and neither are you.
Hey,
it's my allergies.
You
I
don't
have
know
allergies.
who's sick or not.
Wow. But on the other side of things, a substitute teacher in Las Vegas has been accused of taping a mask to a 9-year-old's face after he got up to get a drink of water and forgot to put his mask on. We have gotten so over it with these stupid masks. Like, people think they're so oppressed. It's so
they want it so badly.
Oh my God, I can't. Sorry, that's my take. Erica, what do you think?
No, it is interesting because I have noticed, depending on where I'm at, if people are like half masked, half not, or whatever the mix is, people will look at you. Yeah. And it's interesting to me when people who aren't masked make a kind of snarky look at you for being masked.
Because we're trying to protect them almost.
I didn't look at you.
Right.
Why are you staring at me? Like, I'm the least problematic person in this situation, and I wasn't even thinking about you. Like, it's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird. People are looking for conflict. They're just trolling for it.
Is that why this mask, in your mind, Al, agree, is that why masks have become this hot button issue? In 1918, they didn't have this issue, but is it because we're looking for a fight?
I mean, you can look at 2016. People didn't get upset when you covered your mouth when you sneezed or coughed in 2016. It's the same premise. It's keeping the virus from spreading or potential pathogens from spreading. But people didn't do that because this wasn't a political issue then. Back in the day, if you coughed or sneezed and you didn't cover your mouth, you would be chastised by everyone. That was the one time as a country we were all united. We didn't want somebody to sneeze without covering their mouth. Those are the days of yesteryear, and now people are just anti-masks, and it's an interesting place to plant your flag as a person. Some people have died in the streets for women's rights and, fought for equality or, risked their lives to go up to the moon, and other people don't want masks. So I guess we're all just kind of, when we all get to heaven, we'll have different levels of conversation.
Neither here. A little column A, little column B.
Purgatory is going to be so complicated.
Here? Masks. Why are you here? Women's rights.
All right, before we go,
we got
we got a couple of viral videos of two men who've been accused of faking getting hit by cars. Y'all got to see this. So cameras on this Tesla caught a man who you can see him falling over and appearing like he's hurt, even though the car never actually hit him. Police have arrested him and say he admitted to making the whole thing up. And check this one out. A man very dramatically appears to fake getting hit, by a white van. He even rolls sort of Mission Impossible style over the hood before falling to the ground. He gets an Oscar for he committed.
Yeah, well, this has happened to me when I was living in Chicago. Yes, so my girlfriend is an attorney, and she had to drop off paperwork at the courthouse downtown Chicago. So she's like, can you please just hop in the driver's seat and just drive around? So I made 2 or 3 turns, and when I got to the second one, I'm underneath the L, so on Lake Street, and I was stopped. And as I was proceeding to go, I had barely even touched the gas, and this guy came and he did that roll. And she had this brand new vehicle, this beautiful brand new vehicle, and he rolled over the side of the front of the hood, and I jumped out of the car because I didn't understand what was happening. And this older black man walked up and he goes, "Baby, you get yourself back in this car." And he opened up the car door for me, and he's like, "You get back in, you drive away." And he's like, "And you get your blah 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 up from off this ground." And he's like, "You didn't hit him. You just keep going, baby.
Good
you
witness.
Just keep going." I was like, "Oh my gosh, yes."
What a witness.
I feel like we're gonna find out later that old black man didn't exist. And he was just it was like the premise of some bag of
video game when they're like, go this way. Coming up on DBL, the hilarious Tisha Campbell Martin tells us all about her new movie role as a villain, and an outburst on an airplane you have to see to believe. What led to this guy growling mid-flight? I'm sure you've seen it. We're going to talk about it.
Closed captioning provided by
We'll talk about it, but we can't stop talking about Erica's story. It's interesting that there are two kinds of people. There are the people that will do the Erica Cobb roll over the car, not trying to hurt themselves. But then there are people that will legitimately drop something on themselves to break something to get those. So it's so interesting.
That hung out outside the W on a Walmart because it was leaning, and he was waited for the W.
I remember that.
To fall. That could be fake. That could be a fake story.
No, I remember reading that a couple years ago.
Yeah, but isn't that crazy? People do crazy things.
If you think about daytime television, which we're part of, and just being at home, which I've been for 15 years as a comic, I feel like the commercials have changed where it used to be do you want to go be a truck driver? Those used to be those kind of work, and now it's did something happen to you at work? Did you fall? And now it's the hidden, here's your big cash settlement. We get money. We get our clients paid. And that's every other commercial now, whereas it used to be do you want to be, I remember it used to be gunsmithing. Booksmith.
How
Whatever.
old are you, dude?
Remember that? It was
Horse and carriage around the corner.
It was those colleges that kind of did everything. It was like librarian.
Your vocational stuff.
Yeah.
Phoenix.
ITT Tech.
Yeah, no, personal injury. People
Welding.
will definitely.
Welding's always been a good
definitely
job.
Welding's a great job.
go for the quick payoff, but it's just. It was crazy to me how somebody else peeped the whole thing and was like, just keep going.
Right.
You know, I mean, and this guy, and he did the whole, I mean, he was on the ground. I was more scared that he hurt himself for some other reason. I didn't even realize at the time what was happening.
I know you must have in your head been like, I wasn't even moving, and this guy's rolling across.
And it's like it was her car. It was her brand new car. So then I'm like, did the car? Is there scuff mark or something on the car? It was just. It was a lot, but people go to extreme measures.
Get that payday.
Extreme measures.
Because the quarterback.
Welcome back to DBL. It's that time of the week where we share some more airline madness video. I can't believe we have a segment.
I thought we were out of them.
Nope, we have a full segment now for this. All right, up first, a Las Vegas man has been arrested for intoxication and disorderly conduct after he yelled and growled at passengers on board an American Airlines flight. It really does almost look like something out of The Walking Dead. Take a look.
You can't hold us.
Look out, we're not.
We're out on the ground, sir.
We're not
Sit.
on the
Yes,
ground.
we are.
Careful.
We're only grounded. Sit. You see anybody else getting up? Sit. You sit down in that seat and you stay. Don't bite it. Really?
Tori, I think what's most remarkable is the person next to them held the camera really steady. Like, I would have been terrified, and he was like, look, that's somebody's dad.
That is
And
so
Erica, I'm not trying to be classes here. That dude was in first class, bro.
He was in first class.
There's crazy people in all classes.
Yeah, but
What
I
are you
mean,
talking
to
about?
pay an extra $800 to be crazy, that's another level.
That just shows you that that's somebody you do not want to encounter because they clearly have nothing to lose in their minds.
That's like the captain is now coming out. Just so you guys know, I watched the end of this video. 2 cops were there at the end of it to take him out for intoxication. But I just think what's so interesting is you're right, Al. Everyone stayed calm.
Everybody's
around
extremely
him.
calm.
I don't think it's calm.
It's
I
just
think it's
fear.
like when someone's escalating, especially in an airplane in the air,
You're
like
trapped.
your recourse is very little. So I think the best thing to do at that point, I get very calm when things are going chaotic around me because I'm trying to evaluate the situation. Like, how do I stay safe? How do I make sure that I'm not, escalating the situation more? So when you see things like this, and I think this man should be sued by any passenger who wants to actually sue them. Like the idea, you're
Emotional
basically in a
distress.
hostage situation
Yes.
and you're acting a whole fool. Like, no.
That's why I just don't like the intoxication, because you could have that at a street fair.
Sure.
You could get that arrest. We are all in the air. Your actions could affect 150, 200 other people. There should be another charge. This is a separate thing.
I think they should be banned, in my opinion. Now, a few videos have gone viral showing what people are wearing or getting in trouble for wearing on planes. So check out this woman. She was filmed walking around a terminal recently in just a bikini and a face mask. She was wearing a mask. Meantime, this woman from a viral TikTok video says she was kicked off a flight because her outfit was too revealing, even after she put this shirt over her sports bra. So lots of videos like this have gone viral showing what women get in trouble for wearing on planes. So the question is, what is appropriate? Is it your right to wear what you want, or should too much skin get you booted?
I don't have a problem with people dressing how they want to dress on a plane. Me personally, I layer because it's cold.
It's always cold.
It is. I don't know who's showing up in a bikini.
Exhibitionist, Erica.
But would you be fine sitting next to, be honest, someone in a full bikini on a plane?
If that's what he wants to do, as long as they don't get out of their chair and start threatening people, I don't care what you have
but what
on.
if they get up out of their chair to go to the restroom and they go right past you? Like, you're getting a lot of skin and side cheek.
Yeah, you do. You get that on the beach too.
Yeah, but they're not right in front. It's like you're making, Erica, I'm sorry, you're making a decision for me too to make me uncomfortable. Look, I'm fine with people being scantily clad, but when you are in something like a bikini or something, like your skin is exposed, we're in a contained area, there's no real science behind it, but it's just like you shouldn't be. Would you be cool with that at a restaurant?
Well, no, but the bikini is extreme. I'm just saying, for like a lot of this has to do with body shaming.
Amen.
The bikini was just, she was very thirsty.
That's an aberration. I agree with you.
Yeah,
she was super thirsty. But I agree, it is shaming a lot of women who are sometimes curvier.
But what about the woman with the sports bra, no matter what shape she was in?
I don't have a problem with that. I think the only reason why she was pulled aside is because she wasn't a size 2, to be honest. You see that all the time.
You really do. You really do. Let us know what you think. Coming up on DBL, stay tuned, because our interview with Tisha Campbell Martin, she's telling us all about her encounter.
Guys can wear tank tops.
Oh, God. With a bear at a grocery store. You haven't been marginalized, sir. We'll be right back.
Can't find your favorite item in the store or online? Experts say get used to it. Let's connect the dots. The global supply chain is still all out of whack from the pandemic. Companies rely on regular, steady shipments for their suppliers. COVID outbreaks have forced factories to shut down at different points. Some factories are having trouble getting the raw materials they need. That ripple effect comes all the way down to us. It means various items are out of stock and more expensive. Retailers say there's not much they can do but wait for more supply. Unfortunately, experts say this will likely impact holiday shopping. In fact, major retailers like Walmart and Target are chartering private vessels to prepare. Experts say your best bet is just to shop extra early this holiday season. And that is connecting the dots.
buy my shoes, figure out whether we're gonna serve chicken or fish by tomorrow. Tomorrow, chicken or fish, chicken or fish. Can I get some help, please?
If you've ever said, "You go, girl," or "Damn, Gina," it's because of the 90s hit sitcom Martin, the muse who became everyone's favorite girlfriend. Earlier, we caught up with Tisha Campbell Martin in today's Chatting with the Stars.
All right, Tisha Campbell. Now, we all watched you go off to college and House Party 2, and then you also slayed your role as a student in Spike Lee's School Days. But now you have a son in college. So get real with us. What freaks you out the most as a parent when it comes to college?
You know what? It's knowing that I made him as independent as possible. You know, you really want that and confident as a child or as a young person. But, you know, he's newly in love. So that makes me really happy.
Oh.
Tisha.
Because I really like her and she's very nice.
There you go.
There we go. Tisha, we talked about your crazy encounter with the bear at the grocery store. Now that we have you here.
That bear gets more coverage than me.
What were you thinking? You got to let us know. What were you thinking when that bear walked down the aisle?
Let me tell you what I was thinking, daggone. So, the week before, I had just gone to Arizona for some work, right? I ran into a bobcat, was running from that, I ran into some coyotes, a tarantula, and some javelinas. I didn't even know what a javelina was, but apparently it's pork. Okay? 20 of them. And then I go home thinking I'm cool. The first day, avoid the crowds, get there early. And of course, I run into a bear in my local grocery store. Now, I looked calm, but I was not calm. I was trying, my father, thank God, taught me how to play chess, so I was trying to think my way out of the store. Because to me, where there's a baby bear, there's a mama bear somewhere. So I was just thinking my way through.
Talk about your girl, Tashina Arnold. Now, you guys met in audition when you guys were kids, like from the
11
beginning.
and 12 years old.
Wow.
Yes, we were 11 and 12. Yeah.
And you guys obviously have been cool ever since. So I have to ask, as somebody, and I know we've all auditioned, do you guys ever go after the same role? Because I remember seeing the same people at the same auditions.
Yes, all the time. But, you know, that's what gravitated us to one another, is that when we first met, you know, we would find out about auditions and we would call the other one, did you hear about this one? Well, come meet me and let's crash it. You know, and if it wasn't me who got the role, I wanted it to be her and vice versa. So we always operated like that. And we always operated on being, you know, authentic with one another, holding each other accountable, not being a yes man, supporting one another. That's the kind of friend that you would really want for a lifetime.
That's true empowerment. Your new movie, we got to talk about it, The J-Team. It stars YouTuber JoJo Siwa, who got her start on Dance Mom. So talk about your role and how much dancing did it require?
Well, I didn't have to do a whole bunch of dancing, right? But I did have to come in and be I'm playing the choreographer, Coach Poppy. And this is the first time, you guys, that I got to play a villain.
Oh,
in
nice.
in film. So being able to be the Cruella de Vil of it all was exciting. It was fun. I got to mess with the kids. Michael Lang, the director, left the camera open and was like, I don't know what Tisha's gonna do, so let's just keep the cameras rolling. Cheer up, this is gonna be fun as long as you follow my rules. Like, the theme of the movie is really about being your authentic self, not dimming your light. And I was a newly single mom, so it hit my heartstrings. And then JoJo was being her authentic self in the media at the time. And so there was so much focus on that. I wanted to support that. And Nickelodeon in general wanted to make sure that this was a very diverse film, so everybody is represented. We even have a trans teen, the first trans teen in a musical.
Amazing.
Being represented in this film. So it's inclusive, it's fun, it's dancing, it's music.
I can't wait.
We need that in, you know, coming out of the isolation of it all.
Thank you for joining us, Tisha. You can see her DBL Nation in the J-Team starting September 3rd on Paramount+. Thank you, Tisha.
Thank you, Tisha.
Always a pleasure.
Bye.
Bye. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
The Verify team is here to break down misinformation spreading online, and that becomes especially important when it comes to politics. On social media, you'll see a lot of people posting about the Supreme Court, some calling for some major changes. That includes tweets like these, calling on term limits for Supreme Court justices. All this after President Biden signed an executive order back in April, forming a commission to study possible court reform. So let's verify, is it constitutional for Congress to put term limits on the Supreme Court? Here are our sources: Robert Peck from the Center for Constitutional Litigation, Mark Graber, a law professor at the University of Maryland, and Ilya Shapiro from the Cato Institute. We also look to the Constitution itself. Let's start there. Article 3, Section 1 reads in part as follows: the judges, both of the Supreme and inferior court, shall hold their offices during good behavior. That one line has long been interpreted to mean life tenure on the bench, meaning term limits are not allowed.
Everyone agrees that that would be unconstitutional. That limits the tenure of a Supreme Court judge that is set by the Constitution for good behavior, which has always been interpreted as life tenure.
You can no more fire a judge than you can fire a tenured professor.
Our experts say that term limits can be added through a constitutional amendment, but that's a big lift. 2/3 of Congress and 3/4 of the states would have to agree. So we can verify that our experts say no. it would not be constitutional for Congress to put term limits on the Supreme Court justices unless they pass a constitutional amendment.
DBL is back September 13th, and year 5 is going to be big. I cannot wait. Bold debates.
You're canceling people.
That says a lot. Hot celebs.
Look, we treat everything as a joke.
Thank you very much, Sean Stamos.
Just turn up the notch on that. Enjoy.
And all the laughs.
Awesome. I love it. Do it. Yes.
DBL is always all new every day.
Welcome back to DBL. If you're a parent, listen up. This latest scam could be coming to you next. It's time for a security alert sponsored by LifeLock. So the IRS has a warning for parents who are getting the expanded child tax credit. They say scammers are sending fake messages via email, phone, or social media telling parents there's a problem with their tax credit and asking for personal information. To stay safe, here are some things to know. The IRS will never contact you via email, text, phone call, or social media. The IRS will never leave you a voicemail. The IRS will never ask you to verify personal or financial information. If your information has been breached, LifeLock is here to help. LifeLock keeps you and your digital identity secure from cyber criminals. Call 1-800-439-9017 or visit lifelock.com to learn more. Those are good things to know.
Yeah, and also just if it sounds like you've won a contest that you didn't enter, just because you use Venmo, here's some money. It's like,
yep, it's not real. But we're real, and we'll be here same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, guys.